So we provide services as a city to everybody: the water, the sewer, the police protection, the fire protection. You know, so if there's a fire, we get the fire trucks there. Police, if there's a problem, clean the roads, take the snow off the roads when there's a problem, so you guys can get to school. Because I know how much you want to get to school in time.
No, I don't want to get to school.
So we function as a city just to do services for everybody, to help people. We have a community center for recreation. We have Arts West for recreation. We have parks. You know about parks, I'm sure. We try doing all different services for everybody. That includes you. That includes your parents. That includes all those students as well. Government, we're what is called a statute city, which is probably more than you want to know. But a statute city means that we are tied to the structure basically ruled by the state of Ohio. In other words, we have a government, we have a city council, we have so many wards, so many at large, we have a service safety director, we have a police chief, we have a mayor, we have a court system. There's another system called charter, where you make it up as you go along. In other words, you say, we're going to have a charter, we're going to restructure our city government to work differently. The nearest example we could look at is Nelsonville. Nelsonville does not have a mayor. They have a city manager. So they're without a mayor, but every once in a while I think the president of their council can play mayor if he wants to, but there's a mayor. And that's a different structure. In other words, saying, let's have, rather than a figurehead or an elected official running the city, we'll use a manager to do that. There are other structures too, and it's a long process. It's been tried about 3 times in the city to turn this into a charter city. It's never really worked out. I think only one time it ever went to the ballot, which is required. Everybody would have to vote on it and say, we want to change how the city works. So we have structures here. I'm the administrator. I'm the chief administrator. I'm the executive officer for the city. I'm the one who basically signs the contracts or delegates the contracts to be signed by somebody else. The legislative people here, this is your at-large people, your city council members. They are essentially the ones who control the money, control the policy, and control the laws. They write the laws. They approve the laws. We can suggest to them what we want, how we want it, but they're the final say on that. Of course, the police, Officer Cross in there, Officer Rick and his police, they actually enforce the laws. And you went down to the courthouse, I believe, and looked at the courtroom. Did you guys look at the courtroom downstairs? Okay. That's where the process goes for the actually enforcement of the laws and ruling of the laws. So that's the basic structure. It's actually a small microcosm of the national structure, where you have the Supreme Court, the Congress and Senate, and then the president. But I'm not the president. I'm just the mayor. Let's see, other things I need to cover here. I'm not sure. What else do you need to know? I shouldn't say that because you have questions, don't you? Is there anything? Why don't I ask the teacher? Is there anything I should be covering that I'm not? I know this is early in the semester.
What does a typical day look like for you? What might you do when you come to work?
It varies, but a typical day is actually a lot of meetings. You probably peeked in the door downstairs. I was talking to somebody about recycling. That was the guy who's in charge of recycling for the city, saying, how can we improve recycling? How can we change recycling? So I have various meetings. I have a meeting early this morning about economic development, meeting with people to say how to make more businesses in town, how to make a better, what they call business climate. I will probably have to, I'll be signing vouchers, in other words, paychecks, approving everything from vacations and travel and training, as to contracts. So my day goes into a lot of reading material and a lot of signing and meetings. Last night, of course, was City Council. We had a committee meeting here. It went to about 9 o'clock, so I had a full day yesterday from 8 to 9. So I keep myself pretty busy. It varies. Sometimes I do fun things. I go and do ribbon cuttings. I go to playgrounds and cut ribbons on that, or I visit various businesses and other people's offices just to find out what they're doing. I try keeping in touch with what's going on. I go to look at the bridge when it's being worked on. I go to look at roads when they're being torn up sometimes. Although my service safety director does not like me to get that far in the weeds, she says, basically. So it's day to day, and I try keeping it varied. A lot of information gathering, and a lot of absorption of information too, just to keep the city running. So with that in mind, why don't I take questions? Let's start with questions here. How about you, right there? What is the what? Safety law. I'm not sure what that means exactly. I mean, if you're talking about laws for safety in general, well, we have a lot of them. We have traffic laws. We have everything from noise laws. We have garbage laws. You know, you can't throw garbage on it. You have to have your dog on a leash. Where they veer into safety, of course, is what kind of consequences would occur if you broke the law. I mean, think about it. You say, okay, I'm going to throw a piece of litter on the ground. Well, that's not really safety, but at the same time, it is a law. On the other hand, you say, I'm going to jaywalk or run across the street where I'm not supposed to. That's a safety issue right there. That's a law as well. So really, when you say safety law, it has to do with the consequence versus the law itself, and what is the result when you break that law. And the idea is not to break laws, because they're pretty much put in place to make people safe and make people be able to have, you know, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, I guess, is the basic ones, if you want to go constitutionalize. How about you back there in green? How many meetings do I usually have? Let's see, I have 3 scheduled today. I actually had 4, but one was a conflict. Yesterday there was 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4. It looks like I'm averaging 4 a day. Sometimes I don't have a lot. Sometimes they're all day. I have one that takes all day up in Marietta, about once a month. I have ones that go into the evening. I have ones I don't have to go to, but I go to anyway. So lots of meetings. I try keeping a calendar going as best I can. I try keeping myself some room so I can absorb information. How about you in orange?
What's your favorite thing?
Oh, what is it?
What's your favorite thing about being a mayor?
Favorite thing about being a mayor? Actually helping people, okay? I mean, part of the thing is that I'm a public servant, and I'm trying to help as best possible. So the best thing is making people, being able to help people along the way. The hard part, of course, is making them unhappy, which will happen too. Yes, you, back there. Orange, right there. Yes.
Is it hard to boss the city?
Is it hard to what?
Be the boss of the city.
Be the boss of the city. Well, that's a good question. It can be. And because I have to make some hard decisions, where some people will be unhappy, they wouldn't like what I do. Many times I just have to make a decision that will be really hard in the short term, but good in the long term. I have to listen to everybody in terms of what would be good for the common of the city. Those are the hard parts. Okay, how about you in green right there? You got a message there, I can tell. It's what is what? The needs of the city. Well, let's see. The needs of the city. Well, we have lots of needs in the city. We have infrastructure needs, potholes in the streets, improving the water system. We're always working on that. Improving the sewer system. We're working on an $18 million wastewater treatment plant, which is what's going on East State Street there. We just fixed the bridge. We're pretty much done with most of the bridges, which is good. Our best needs right now would be a better water system on the south side. Actually, most of the time we need what they call resources or money. We always can use more money to actually add police and fire and everything like that. There'll always be a need for those things, and therefore the needs will always be expanding as the population grows, because we are a growing city. There are cities that are actually contracting, getting smaller. We're doing better, we're getting bigger. How about you all the way back there? Yes, you. How did I get to be mayor? Is that what you're asking? I got elected. It's a 4-year term. You run usually in a primary for the party, which of course is the Democrat and Republican Party, is independents. And then you run every 4 years. I have 2 more years on my term. This is my 2nd term. So really what you have to do is you have to make more than half the people in the city happy who want to vote for you. That's how it works. And tell you the truth, when you think about it, that's the biggest qualification you have. And I say that candidly because I have people who work for me who are experts. They were experts at CPR, how the water system works, how the roads are done. Think of a police officer. All they have to learn about being a good police officer. And all I have to do is I don't have to know any of that stuff. I just have to be able to let them do it. But really my job is just to make sure they can do it. But really my qualification is that 51% of the people voted me in. Okay? You in pink right there.
How much years have you been the mayor? How much years have you been the mayor?
How many years? Oh, okay. How many years? I am on my 6th year. This is my 2nd term. I have, it's a 4-year term. I was voted in for 4 years, and then I ran again, re-elected. So I'm on my 2nd year of my 2nd term. So that's 6 years. 2 more years will give me 8 years.
How much terms can you do?
There's no term limit. There are places where there are term limits, but not as a mayor, nor as council. I believe at the state level there are term limits. Term limits means you can only run so many times, and then you run out. You might have so many do-overs. How about you back there?
Is being the mayor fun?
Who just spoke right there? I just lost track of you there.
No, it's Oliver, the guy in the green shirt.
Okay, is being mayor fun? Is that what you asked? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I tell you the truth, if it was fun all the time, they charged me admission, they wouldn't take it. Okay? How about you? Well, one was a staff meeting. That had to do with just checking with my staff, make sure everything's up to date. We started looking at some of the issues of were there a lot of parties this weekend, that the students get rowdy, how did move-in turn in for all 20,000 students coming in. Let's see, the other one was, one was, again, a follow-up on solid waste, which you're probably not interested in. The other one was an IT meeting. We had a little bit of discussion on how to improve our web system here. High-tech stuff, really. The third one was really just trying to look at our employment people. So those were the different meetings in terms of we're just getting a new, what they call personnel director, and trying to make sure we have everybody filling the positions that are needed. So those were the meetings right there. And again, they kind of blend together at times. I sat in also with a neighborhood meeting towards the afternoon. Basically, I have representatives from the neighborhood associations. We have now 5 neighborhood associations, Near East Side Neighborhood Associations 1, and we have the representatives about once a month. I meet with them, so find out what's going on. How about you over there? Yes, yes. Do I have what now?
Do you have any free time?
Free time. Oh, yeah, I have free time. Wherever I can find it, really. Let's see. This weekend, my free time was Sunday. I had Sunday to actually take a walk around town, and actually I took my camera so I could take pictures of violations or problems. And Saturday was they had what they call a watershed forum where they talk about groundwater. So free time is whenever I can make it. Usually in the evening, late if I have time. Again, I could probably make more free time if I could do things differently. I mean, in theory, I can make big gaps of it, but things have to get done. Let's see, who else? You look like you're falling asleep. You right there.
I'm not raising my hand.
Oh, you're not. You were falling asleep. Okay. You already asked the question. I know that. How about you back there?
Do you think you've made good changes to Athens?
You know, that's a funny thing, because most of the time I don't think about it. I just try doing better each time. Every once in a while somebody comes back and says, you know, you've added sidewalks here, you've added bike lanes here, you've you've improved this park over here. So I think I have done well, yes. I think I've been making good changes. There's always a lot more to do, though. It's always going to be more things to do, improvements, because there's always room for improvements at that point. Let's see, who else? You over there, yes. Yeah, oh, no, right there. Yeah, did you have a question? No, you didn't. You had your hand up. Okay, how do you? Did I get a chance to do what now? Do I get a chance? With the help of City Council. Again, there's checks and balances. I can make changes, some, but if I need money, they're the gatekeepers of the money. If I have to make law changes, they're also City Council. It's a checks and balances. So I can't be king. I can't just say, we're going to do this and make it done. I can think about it. I can say, let's try doing this, and then get their buy-in. In other words, I'll say, hey, we want to do something. You know, can we do it? You know, chickens in the neighborhoods. What do you think? You know, there's somebody who wants to say, we want leashes on cats. It's like, okay, well, I don't know about that. You know, trying to leash a cat is almost impossible. So, you know, I say earlier today we was talking about trying to do recycling, better recycling. Do we do single stream or sort it, keep sorting it, and how do we go about doing that as an improvement? Okay, let's see who else here. You all the way back there in the tie-dye, yes.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Do I have a girlfriend? Yes, I have a girlfriend.
Do you have a wife?
What?
Do you have a wife?
No, I don't. Okay. No, I have a girlfriend. Her name is Elaine, and I've known her for many years. She lives out of town, which is always an issue. We have kind of, you know, see each other when we can, when I have that free time. Let's see, who else here? You and the tie right there.
How much does a mayor make per year?
The mayor, right now, I make $76,000, I think.
Wow.
It is set up, well, it is actually, council sets up the prices. The control of that is actually, I can't raise my own rate, pay, and council does that. But they can actually put the pay scale in for the next mayor, which would be in 2 years. I think I'm on a 1% increase for every year. They wrote that in, so I get 1% more. And I was saying it's okay, because that, to me, that's enough money. Although it depends on who you talk to, whether it's enough money. But I'm pretty frugal. And I worked at the university for a lot less, so I can handle that. Not that the university, if you look at the pay scale there, there's a little bit different there. So that's what I make. Council makes about $8,000. Theirs is a part-time job. Again, it's all public knowledge. You know, to get those pay scales. I hope that answers your question. Other question. Okay, you in yellow right there.
Do you have a special mayor car?
No, I don't. We share a car. We actually have one car for 5 of my co-workers. I have for the service safety director, deputy service safety director, let's see, human resource person, and myself. So 4 people share that car. When I got in office, there were a lot of cars, and we tried instituting a downsizing of the amount of cars that were being taken home, as well as the downsizing of the amount of cars being used, just to save energy, gas, and be more frugal, really. We actually have what is called a Green Fleets Committee that's trying to make sure the cars that we do acquire are energy efficient. It doesn't always work that way because there's always restrictions on what you can do. Think about it. You don't want a real wimpy police car so they can't pursue somebody. And you're always going to have, you know, something like a fire truck that is pretty energy intensive. So, so my own car, no. And to tell you the truth, I usually drive my own vehicle just because I feel more comfortable with that too. How about you right there?
Me?
Yes, you.
When you were little, was there anything besides the mayor you wanted to be?
I didn't even think I wanted to be mayor when I was little. I really wanted to be a chemist. Okay, my degree is in chemistry. So I kind of worked over from sciences, and I was doing molecular biology many years at the university, which is basically cutting, pasting DNA and putting things together and problem solving. And it's kind of fun, that type of stuff. I forget how much fun it is because it's really when you do science, you're using one variable at a time. So in other words, you say, okay, I'm going to do this experiment, and I'm just going to change this little bit and see what it does. Being mayor, you don't have that control. It's all moving at the same time. You have more than one variable. So, and it's usually not hard science, and it's usually more people science. Go ahead. You. Yes?
Do you have a job that you want to have when you're not the mayor anymore?
That's a good question. Probably if I'm not the mayor anymore, I'll retire. I'm about 21,924 days in, I think, of my life. That puts me a little bit over 60 years. My birthday was September 3rd. So I'm now 60 years old. So in another 2 years, I'll be 62. If I run again, I'd be another 4 after that, 66. At that time, I'd probably follow Sherlock Holmes and retire and do work on bees. Because that's what I have bees right now, but that's always very common. So that would be my job as beekeeper. Okay, how about you in the stripes right there? Yes, you.
What school did you go to?
Let's see, schools. I grew up in New York. I went to, if you want a list of all the schools, I went to a school called St. Albert's for my kindergarten. It's a Catholic school. I went to Highland Elementary when I moved. Parents moved in New York. I went to 10 years of St. Mary's. And then I went to Marietta College. Actually, I did 1 year of National Community College in New York, where I did abysmally. And I say that I did poorly because I did a .6 GPA. Talk about being motivated. So I took some time off to mature. You're laughing. Hey, you know, I played way too much chess. I had to give up my chess, and I was waiting for my lottery number to come up. So I went to Marietta College for a degree in chemistry. That's where I ended up in college. And then I came over here to work. I've taken some graduate courses here, but I think I like the work rather than the school part at that point. So, and again, it's chemistry, so it's a different thing. How about you back there? Yes.
Do you remember me? We were at the Arts Fest.
At the which fest?
The opening of the pictures of those flowers on the walls.
Arts Fest, she said.
I don't remember, Teddy Juice.
The Arts West.
Oh, Arts West. Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, that was last week.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Do you remember me?
No, I was running in there, and there were a lot of people. I was talking to a lot of grown-ups. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where were you? What's your name? Courtney?
My name isn't Courtney.
What is it?
But it's Chloe Club.
Okay. Did you enjoy the Arts West? Did you like that?
Yes, I did. But do you remember Courtney Castle?
Name sounds familiar, but I don't know if they...
Beach.
Okay, yes. Oh, yeah, okay. I actually met, yeah, okay, at the Dairy Barn, too, the quilt special. She was running something there, too. Okay. Did you like Arts West then? You like the new design? They've got chairs just like this, too. You bought the same chairs. Because they're going to hold up, I hope. They're going to be big chairs. Is that your question?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How about back here? You? What? When do I get paid? In modern 21st century, it's all direct deposit these days. It goes straight into the bank. It is every 2 weeks. I think the university, their contract conditions are once a month, and I think the civil service there are 2 weeks as well. So I get paid, and the money goes to the bank, and then I take it out, and you know how that works. Spend it on things. How about you back there? What's my favorite sport? Actually, I don't have a favorite sport. I don't have time for sports. Probably, if anything, I'd say fencing. I could shoot. Fencing with a sword, you know. Yeah, you know, foils. Foils over sabers. How's that sound? I think you asked a question already. You got your hand up again. Okay. How about you, Athens? What's my favorite color? Probably purple. Probably purple. My house is purple. I got a big purple house on Mary Street. So, and actually, it varies. Sometimes I realize, after a couple of years, I realize I've moved to blue, and then sometimes I realize I've turned all my wardrobe to black, and it's like, this is very strange. I bought nothing. I look like Johnny Cash or something. I start wearing all black stuff, you know. But most of the time, it'll be varied, you know. But, you know, purple's one that seems to be on. Yes, you.
What's your favorite season?
My favorite season? That's a good question. I like fall a lot. It's coming up. But I like the transition one, spring and fall.
Christmas season?
Christmas is a holiday, I think. And that would be technically winter, I think. It falls into the winter season. Let's see, how about, yeah, okay, you in black right there. Yes, you.
Okay. Do you have any problems you are working on right now?
The problems I'm working on right now, let's see. The problems we have right now are to fill the human resource position as fast as possible. We're going to have to take a test, get a test going for the fire chief because he's going to be retiring soon. That's not really my direct problem, but I'm dealing with it. Let's see, what's the other one? There's There's a road construction that's coming in over bid, so that's a problem. Let's see what else is there. There's what to quote a former police officer, Dave Williams. We have what they call crisis of the day, or CODs. So there are the daily ones, and then there's the long term. The solid waste one I was talking about earlier today, because that will change whether we want to go to how we collect our recyclables and everything.
Hey guys, we have about maybe 2 more questions, because then we got to let the mayor get back to his duties and we need to head on down. So who has not asked a question, guys, that has a real important question that they have maybe written down or something like that? Maybe that.
Okay, let's go with. Okay, have you asked a question already? No. Okay, what's your question? What am I planning to change? I'd like to change. Well, in the midst of changing the bus system, getting that done. Probably the recycling is going to change. I know there's some people would like to change the parking, so I'm looking into that again. 24-hour rule.
Oh,
Basically, there's a 24-hour rule. You have to move your cars every 24 hours if they're on the street. It's like walking a dog every 24 hours. You really need to walk your car every 24 hours, but it's a hard thing to mix because I have to pass it through these guys. Okay, let's do one more question. How about you right there?
How much money do you have?
How much money do I have? You mean in my pocket right now?
You mean the city?
How much money do you have in your
In the
pocket?
the city budget is close to 30. The appropriate budget for the year is about 33, 34 million. The total assets a lot more than that. We have some money in the bank. We have, this building has value, so therefore you say, okay, you include that in the value. I think it was actually listed in Sunday's Messenger. The auditor put in the certified resources. I'm trying to think. It was like $365 million worth of assets here. Well, realize we're talking about the buildings, the wastewater treatment plant, the water treatment plant, the bus system, all his police cars. It all starts to add up after a while. All those park swings, they're worth money. I think that off the top of my head, I glanced at it. I should have memorized the numbers just in case. Okay, well, thank you for coming. Glad to see you guys. And do any of the grown-ups want to ask a question? Why you got me here? You guys are grown-ups. Look at all the grown-ups. You short grown-ups there.
Hey guys, if you guys have other questions that you want to ask the mayor, you can write them down and send them to him. And when he gets a chance, maybe a couple minutes, he might be able to answer them for you. Okay. In his busy schedule or something like that, guys. I mean, he's busy quite frequently, but he might be willing to do that if you get a chance to write them down or something like that. So if you get to answer your question today, you can send it to him, and maybe he can answer it later for you.
So how long did it take to walk here? Not very long? Okay. Okay, and you're all going to walk back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And time for lunch.
Time for lunch. What's for lunch?
Recess.
Oh, recess.
Time for recess. Even better.
All right.
Okay, well, thanks for coming. Get involved. This is your city. I'm your public servant. I'm supposed to help as much as possible.
All right. Let's thank the mayor, guys. All right. So, guys, hey, here's what we're going to do. I am going to step ahead of you guys, go down to the second floor, and on your guys' way back outside to head back down to east, I'm going to step in and see if the courtroom's open. That way we can get a real quick peek into the courtroom and you guys can go in there and see it. So when you guys start coming down the stairwell, hopefully I'll be standing in the hallway waiting on you. If I'm not standing there, just kind of wait on me or check in the hallway, see where I'm at. I may be looking for a person with a key if it happens to be available, it's locked up. So, all right. So I'll see you guys here in just a couple minutes here. You guys get organized here. So, yep.